In the beginning, when God began to create the heavens and the earth, there was nothing but darkness and silence. The earth was formless and empty, but God's Spirit hovered over the surface of the waters. And then, in a moment of divine will, God spoke into the void. "Let there be light." And there was light, separating the day from the night. After God created the light, God saw that the light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening passed and morning came, marking the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a space between the waters, to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth." And so it was. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heavens. God called the space sky. And evening passed and morning came, marking the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place, so dry ground may appear." And so it was. God called the dry ground land, and the waters seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit." And God saw that it was good. And evening passed and morning came, marking the third day. Then God said, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them mark off the seasons, days, and years. Let these lights in the sky shine down on the earth." And so it was. God made two great lights, the larger one to govern the day, and the smaller one to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And evening passed and morning came, marking the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." So God created great sea creatures, and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." And evening passed and morning came, marking the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals." And so it was. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground." Then God said, "Look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth, and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given every green plant as food for all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, and the small animals that scurry along the ground, everything that has life." And so it was. Then God looked over all he had made, and he saw that it was very good. And evening passed and morning came, marking the sixth day. And on the seventh day God rested from all his work of creation. He blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. The story of creation is a testament to the power of God's spoken word and creativity, as he spoke the universe into existence and carefully formed every living creature. It reveals his loving intention for humanity, created in his own image, to care for and steward his creation. Picture this: a paradise, a garden unlike any other, filled with vibrant colors, exotic plants, and serene rivers. In this perfect place, God created the first man, Adam. He placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with every kind of tree and plant that was pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden stood two remarkable trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam a command, clear and stern. You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. But something was missing. God saw that it was not good for man to be alone. So he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. As Adam slept, God took one of his ribs and fashioned it into a woman. When Adam awoke, there she was, Eve, a perfect companion. Adam was overjoyed and named her Eve, for she was taken out of man. Together they roamed the garden, tending to it, living in perfect harmony with God and each other. One fateful day, a cunning serpent, more clever than any of the wild animals God had made, slithered up to Eve. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The serpent hissed. Eve, puzzled but curious, replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, 'You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die.'" "You will not certainly die," the serpent whispered with a glint of deception in its eyes. "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit, enticed by its beauty and the promise of wisdom. She reached out, plucked it, and took a bite. The moment she did, her eyes widened in astonishment. She handed the fruit to Adam, who, unable to resist, also ate. Suddenly, the world seemed different. They realized their nakedness and quickly sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. As they heard the sound of the Lord God walking into the garden in the cool of the day, fear gripped their hearts. They hid among the trees. "Where are you?" God called out. Adam, trembling, responded, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God's voice was firm. "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam pointed to Eve. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." God turned to Eve. "What is this you have done?" Eve, tears in her eyes, replied, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Anger and sorrow mixed in God's voice as he declared, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To the woman, he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." With heavy hearts, God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve and clothed them. The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever, God declared. So he banished them from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which they had been taken. As a final act, God placed cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. And so the story of creation unfolds, revealing the immense power and boundless creativity of God. From the formation of the heavens and the earth to the creation of man and woman, each moment speaks of his glory and love. Though Adam and Eve's disobedience led to their expulsion from Eden, God's plan for humanity was far from over. Join us as we continue this incredible journey through the pages of the Bible, discovering stories of faith, redemption, and the enduring promise of hope. Subscribe and stay tuned for more epic tales from the Bible storyteller. Until next time, may peace and wisdom guide your path.